One of my favorite things from Jordan brand is back, and I gotta say, a lot of people probably not gonna with these, but it's just one of my favorite things. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today, we got a detailed look and breakdown on these bad boys right here. This is the Jordan Trunner OS. It's a brand new Jordan Trunner, finally. I mean, the last one, when was the last one? Hold on, let me look. Bro, 5 years ago? That's crazy. Those were great too. There was two different models, by the way. There was the Jordan Trunner Ultimate, and that thing was nuts. And then there was the Jordan Trunner Advance, and I loved those. I actually love both of them, but I prefer the Advance over them. And the Jordan Trunner line has been around since the brand's inception, since that 1998 and 1999 time era. This particular one right here throws things back to an era where, I mean, the Trunner didn't debut in this box, but it's cool to see the box back. So if you look at the sides and everything, it's got the little Jordan bubbles, like with the letter and the fonts in there and everything. It's on the lid, red Jumpman on the box. Those are actually mimicking this style of box right here. So this is just really cool to see that they are paying attention to their heritage. They're bringing it back out, which I think is dope. Again, not the original box that Trunners came in, but I mean, this is like a fun, like, reimagination of that packaging. I like it a lot. Now, one of my favorite things is actually when you open up that box, it's got a full-on breakdown of what the shoe offers, which is fantastic. And one of my favorite things is that they're actually pointing towards the brand's history, which I suppose we'll go over briefly. I don't have, I didn't compile like every Trunner ever. Okay, so like I'm not gonna go over all of those things, but for those of you guys like wondering like, why do you like this, but you don't like the Jordan 1 hiking shoe or whatever? It's not that I don't like the Jordan 1 hiking shoe, even though I don't, but like it's not like appealing to me. But like I said, this model or this line was introduced with the brand. So when the brand first came out, it was a performance brand. Oh. That's what the brand led with. They led with not just the official game shoe and not just with heritage models, aka the retro, but they also led with other things such as the Jordan Trunner, which was a running trainer, aka Trunner. They just kind of combined the words. They also had cleats. They had shoes like these, like Randy Moss's Cover 3. So when people ask me, why don't you like the Jordan hiking shoe, but you like stuff like this, like I said, you got to know the brand's history, bro. If you go all the way back to the beginning, that stuff was around. It was a performance brand through and through. They were opening up with different stuff, and the only reason why they did things like the Cover 3 and turning, you know, basketball shoes into turf shoes and cleated shoes was because those players were actually wearing the actual shoe on the field anyways when they had turf days. So, you know, there were certain athletes that would wear like the Air Jordan 11, the basketball version, on turf. Not on the grass, not on like the real field. But when they were playing on turf, they would wear stuff like that because the grass is fake. It's like rubbery, so they were able to get traction with no issues. So again, seeing stuff like that, it's true to the brand's heritage. Skating versions of Air Jordans, true to the brand's heritage. Trunners, true to the brand's heritage. Hiking shoes, that's new. But either way, this shoe, as depicted on the artwork inside the box, takes or draws inspiration from two of my favorite shoes from the brand, one of which is the original Jordan Trunner, simply known as Jordan Trunner. And these bad boys right here, this is the Jordan Team 1, the original Jordan Team shoe, even though there were a couple before it. There was the original Jumpman Pro, which is the first non-signature Jordan that Jordan Brand's ever released. But at that time, this is where semantics come into play, where Jordan Brand as a brand wasn't fully established yet. But boy, they were getting there. But yeah, if you look at the tongue here, it says Jordan, performance brand of excellence. God, that embroidery's gotten so much better. So yeah, it's kind of interesting the way that they've pulled from the original Trunner as well as the original team shoe, and then they've kind of poured it all into this guy right here, especially because this feels much different than the original brand's intention, where those were all performance shoes. This kind of feels like more of a hybrid. It's definitely being portrayed as a lifestyle Jordan, but there are performance elements in here, making it to where, like, if you wanted to run or train in them, you probably could, but its first intent is for comfort. You know what I mean? And casual use, which I find to be not a bad thing. It's just interesting. The last Trunner that they did, like I said, was the Advance and the other one, I can't remember. Either way, they were actual like running training shoes, and this one is not. So yeah, they took a little hiatus, and now that they're back in the lifestyle sphere of things versus the performance sphere. Now, as far as this particular shoe, the outsole is a beefcake, man. This is cool. It's got a really nice thick rubber outsole. This is going to be durable whether you're using these casually or not. The way that they've implemented everything, by the way, is also for both casual and performance. So if you're going to look at the heel, you've got the nice little like runner's notch that's in there, so that adds compression for heel strikes, even though I don't feel like it really needs it, but I'll explain that in a minute. And then the forefoot is probably the most interesting, where they have carved out this huge section, like the crash landing pad area of the forefoot, and they've really carved that section out so that it's like recessed, almost so that that section can act like a piston when you're pushing it, like with your pressure and stuff like that, like with your full weight. So when you're gonna press on it, it's gonna absorb and move and things like that, and then it's gonna deflect the energy and bounce back into shape. It's really cool, at least in my opinion. Like when we're talking about like design and function and things like that, this is all functional design. It's awesome. When you move on up, the midsole itself is made up of Cushlon 3.0. So it's got this like springy effect without using any air or zoom or any of that stuff. Cushlon's so sick. I've been saying this for like 15 years, dude, ever since I first used it. But Cushlon is my favorite of Nike's like foam cushionings. And I know that ZoomX is a thing and all that stuff. I still prefer Cushlon when it's done really well like this. The insole is super glued in there, bro. So I was not able to get that thing like out so I can show it to you, but basically it's a really thin dark blue ortholite. I don't think that it's a great insole. If you're able to get it out and you wanted to swap it out for anything else, feel free. If you wanted some tips on trying to get that out, since it is so heavily glued, I would use a hairdryer on its lowest heat setting. Just kind of wave it around in there until the glue loosens up, it'll pop right out. Now, as far as materials are concerned, this is probably the nicest Trunner that I've ever seen. Like I said before, all of the previous Trunners have been performance versions. So like they've used synthetics, textiles, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Like they didn't use anything crazy, like sometimes TPU and all of that stuff, but for the most part, it's always been what you would expect from a runner or a trainer. This guy right here, like I said, kind of like brings things around to the lifestyle aspect. So while there still are the breathable mesh textiles and things like that, all the overlay materials are all suede, at least on this colorway. I've seen a few of them, like we just saw, they're all red ones too. If you're local here to the Sacramento area, Phenom's gonna be having the all red joints. They actually look pretty slick. I love all the little call outs or Easter eggs that they've got all over the shoe. Obviously, we were talking about the Jordan Team 1 reference. You can see that clearly in the midsole and the sculpting. You can also see the TPU flap that's on the midfoot or the cage. That was on a lot of Jordan Trunners back in the day. I love that they brought back the font too. The font that is on here that spells out Jordan is that OG font, and I think it's sick. So it's something that some people might not notice, but when I saw it, I was like, bro, this, like, what year is this? This is really cool. All the way to the back right here where this little bubbled, I don't know what you would call this, but just the silver piece with the Jumpman on there. That's a call out to a lot of Jordan Trunners. The first one that used something like that was actually the Jordan Trunner LX. That's also one of my favorite Trunners. That shoe had a metal clip right here, like the original version of it. And they actually were recalled because this clip right here, you were supposed to squeeze it around your Achilles area, and it was gonna give you a custom one-to-one fit, like a heel lockdown. The downside is that the material that they used to, you know, have that feature was a metal piece, like tin metal or whatever, and so it would eat through the lining and then cut people's Achilles up. Good intention, but poor execution, you know what I mean? So the shoe was recalled originally, and then every version of the shoe afterwards, including any other Trunners that had that little call out to it, didn't have the lockdown kind of like closed metal feature, but it was just a visual cue. These guys included. And just in case you wanted to know, there are plenty of reflective hits, so you can see that right there on the toe. There's some on the tongue, on the heel tab. That is not reflective. You'd think that would be, but it's not. And as far as the fit is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear, that's exactly what I would go with. They fit kind of like, I would say like pretty neutral. They don't fit like really wide. They don't fit really narrow. They feel like they could accommodate quite a few different styles or types of foot shapes. So I believe that these are going to be launching first at neighborhood doors, which is like small boutiques. So those are the kind of like areas that you're going to want to go and like try them on in stores. So like a corporate, or like I said, a Phenom, a store like that. Not so much like a Dick's Sporting Goods, even though they may have them too. But yeah, true to size for most, you should be good to go. The comfort is insane. Like I said, the underfoot comfort is like just squishy and pillowy and bouncy all in one. It's nuts. Now, with all of that being said, what is today's viewer submitted question of the day?
Today's question of the day comes from the Angel Reese 1 performance video that we did. They say, great bracelets in this video. Where are they from, may I ask? How do you accessorize in general when you're playing basketball? I've stopped using anything on my wrists as I play because it gets destroyed by accident.
This is true. I don't like accessorizing, first off. So I know that I have stuff on my wrist, but that's by like...
They just live there.
Correct. Like it's not, in my mind, it's not an accessory. It's part of like what I'm doing. These, by the way, used to be on my left wrist, but you recently got me this
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch. Sorry, I always want to call it like an iWatch, but I don't think that's what it's called. It's just an Apple Watch.
Yeah, it's not an iPad.
Okay, that's a lame name. But anyways,
or an iPhone.
Yeah, like I thought it was I something.
No.
But anyway, so you recently got me the watch, and because we've been doing a lot of like exercise and workouts and fitness and all this stuff, and plus I wanted to know like my like calorie like burn versus consumption like ratio essentially. So yeah, so that's where that all of my bracelets got moved over here. I'm still not really used to it. Like it feels like my right wrist is like thicker.
It is.
It literally is?
Yes.
Like factually.
We could measure them.
We're not gonna do that right now, but like, you know what I mean?
But yes, I'm just saying, I too have had to move bracelets around because of the same thing, and they fit differently.
Okay, yeah, and I'm not used to it, so I don't love it, but it is what it is. Like she was saying earlier, the bracelets live on me, so the first one, or I guess I could show you with my phone because it's kind of, you're not gonna be able to see that from all the way over there. All right, so this one right here is the Kobe one, so there's an 8 there, and then there's a 24 on the other side. I've basically been wearing these since he passed, and I haven't taken it off. So this is from a company called Soul Bands that are no longer in business, unfortunately, but they made great products while they did. And then the rest of these, which is kind of funny because Zesty is the first thing that you see. So yeah, so I coach kids, obviously, or I would say obviously, but if you know, you know. And a couple of the kids have turned basically into family, and so they're a brother and sister, and the brother, Gio, we call each other Zesty Bros. So it's like an inside joke type thing. So yeah, so the little homie is my Zesty Bro, so he made me that bracelet. The I Love You one comes from Mrs. Wing over there, and then the number 3 one is from my Zesty Bro's sister, but I commissioned her to make that because she was making these and like selling them, so I was her first customer. And then the other one, the green one, which there is a number somewhere, I think. Oh yeah, there it is, a 00 and stuff. But basically that's the team bracelet that his sister made. And so she made bracelets for every member of the team, and everyone had their number. But since I was the coach, she just 00'd me and everything. And that's where they all come from. They're sentimental to me. So once you give me something like that, it goes on and it never really comes off. It just makes me level. Like if I'm having like a bad day, I could look at them and be like, oh, okay, like there's cool people out there. You know what I mean? So that's what I use them for. There's like a superstitious side of me, I guess, that just wants to keep them on, and they have broke before, not any of these ones, but the ones, oh, the I Love You one's the one that you fixed?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so.
And you had another one from me.
I know, it was getting cluttered. And
well, no, that one did burst on...
You didn't redo that one?
I didn't redo that one. Oh. Ellie broke the I Love You one.
You don't have to say that. She got so upset, she was crying.
And it's fine, it's cool. All of the original letters are still there. The other one that I had made you with a song lyric, that one broke because some refs told you in game to take them off.
I do remember that. Yeah, that was in one of my league games.
And it just burst.
I'd worn them the whole league.
I know.
And then one day, the guy was like, you gotta take off your bracelets. I was like, bro, what? And so yeah, so when I went to do it, it snapped.
That one is no more.
Right, and so yeah, so they do break sometimes, and that's unfortunate, but that's why I also don't touch them. So I just leave them there. But what about you guys? Do you guys wear extra stuff, I guess? Like not like a brace or something like that, but like things like this, things from like loved ones, or you have a superstitious thing where like you put it on, you had a great game, and now you won't take it off. I don't know. Sound off below in the comment section. Let me know. On top of all of that, what do you think about the brand new Trunner, the Jordan Trunner OS? Are you digging them? Are you not? Are you excited for future colorways? Or maybe this is just not for you altogether? Sound off below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. We'll catch you guys in the next one. So until then, you guys have a good one.